So I decided to make a video about my journey with languages, and I have no idea why I decided to record this late at night. It's almost 2 a.m. and I have turned on only the salt lamp and some table lamps, so that's why it is so dark here. Anyway, so I from early age I started with two languages, Slovak and Serbian, because Slovak was spoken in my family. We all spoke it, and there was Serbian on TV, Serbian also sometimes friends and family members, some of the family members also. Uh, well, all of us speak Serbian, of course, but I mean, my parents spoke Serbian with some people, so I started picking it up. Also, there was on TV, on the radio, a lot of songs were in Serbian only. We didn't really listen a lot of Slovak songs when I was a kid, so I started picking up two languages basically. And then when I started going to school, I was 7, well, barely 7, since I'm a November kid. So anyway, uh, I started learning English besides Slovak and Serbian. So that was, well, let's say 3 languages from the start. That was interesting because our teacher of English tried to teach us also how to read international phonetic alphabet alongside with English, with regular English spelling, and we were like, no, we're not learning that. So then at first we started only with picture books the first year, and then we started having books with, well, words. When I was, I think, 11, yes, that's when we started learning German at school. So at that point I had Serbian, Slovak, English and German. So that was 4 languages at once. Dealing with 4 languages at school, to some people it might sound like insanely big amount of languages, but that's kind of a normal thing here if you are a minority language speaker, and if you also choose to have your minority language as the main language of your classes, or at least to learn it at school. So that's pretty normal around here. Also, I was around 10, 11 when I read Macedonian newspapers. Actually not newspapers, but magazines, opravdano prisutni, because my dad was working in Macedonia for some time, and then he brought home magazines in Macedonian with DVDs of Pokemons, Ninja Turtles, Dragon Ball, because I like those cartoons and I enjoyed watching them, although they were in Macedonian. I didn't really understand everything, but it was fun watching it anyway. So then I Also, then, well, yes, that's the beginnings, and then later, when I was 14, I started going to high school, and I decided that I don't want to learn German, but I want to learn French as a foreign language, because my reason was Asterix and Obelix movies. So it wasn't for, oh, this sounds romantic or something. I didn't think about that at all. I didn't know what languages, what stereotypes are there about languages at all. I was 14, I wasn't connected to the internet, or didn't meet anyone who's a foreigner, and at that, I didn't meet any foreigner back then. So at 14 I started learning French, and because I was learning French I also had to learn Latin. They kind of came in package. So I was learning Slovak, Serbian, English, French and Latin, so that's 5 languages at once. Well, I learned Latin only for 2 years, while French and German, those were for 4 years. Um, well, um, each of the French and German, I was probably at A2 level, like upper beginner, according to our programs. I don't really know, because for for French I have books, I have those textbooks here, and it says A2 level. And for the German I don't have books anymore because we sold them to someone else. And during high school I first time had Facebook, so I met also foreigners who didn't have any other language in common with me except English. So I needed to communicate in English. I had no other choice. So I learned English that way. I wasn't very good at it, despite learning it for almost 12 years at that time. And well, I had been interested in learning Bengali because the first people with whom I spoke English with were people from Bangladesh, and well, it didn't last long because those who I wanted to help me with it weren't really interested to teach me. And well, teaching someone really isn't a job for everyone. I mean, you can teach someone how to say some phrases here and there or words, but you can't really base your conversation with someone only on how to say this, how to say that, translate me this please. I mean, also it was uh, pretty impossible to read Bengali script on my phone because, well, I couldn't see all those lines. Text was really small on Facebook and on Instagram and everywhere. So, well, maybe I didn't have enough of motivation to learn it. Probably that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't learn. And also sources. What I had for sources, only my friends from Bangladesh. I mean, that's not much. You need more. You need more information. Then, what was then? Then I got interested. I got interested in Japanese, in Korean, in a lot of languages. I was like playing with them. I was sometimes interested in Hindi as well. That was like some year after my interest in Bengali. Uh, well, Korean and Japanese. Well, I'm I'm still I'm still thinking about continuing with them someday because I want to know more than just Latin and Cyrillic scripts. Because honestly, there are so many scripts and I'm just interested in them. So then, well, you know why Japanese? Because of anime, of course. But not to understand anime because I know that people don't speak like that in real life. Um, then Korean, I don't know why Korean. Probably just because of Hangul. Then sometime I will, well, sometime I was thinking about learning Tagalog and Cebuano or Visayan. That didn't go really well because I started mixing them up because I was learning it at the same time. So even my notes were chaotic. So I have no idea which phrases in Tagalog, which phrases in the other language. Mm, then later on, I had some interest in learning Indonesian. I'm still going to go back to Indonesian one day. I also always have been thinking about learning Russian because I mean Russian is pretty similar to the ones I already speak. Then there's Hungarian. I would like to know Hungarian, and I'm currently, well, trying to learn some words slowly. Um, I have some monthly plan, so we will see how that goes. I oh well Russian because it sounds similar. Hungarian because I would like to know more than just one minority language from my country. And well, we share Slovak language and Hungarian share some words, and it's interesting seeing how Hungarian functions, how to create sentences in it. Then at the university I had learned Polish. Well, Polish wasn't my first choice. I wanted to learn Spanish at university, but that language always has a lot of fans, so spots get filled pretty fast. so there was no free spot for me anymore, so the second choice was Polish, because I was already trying out Polish in on Duolingo like a whole year before that, and I already knew pronunciation, or I already knew some words, some greetings, so I already had some start, already had some neku prednost. Then I'm now thinking about which languages have I tried learning for at least 2 weeks. I'm also interested in learning Ruthenian. I don't know how many names that has that language. I mean, the one spoken in Vojvodina, it's pretty similar with Slovak, and it has the most connection with Ukrainian, and it's just so sweet sounding and beautiful. I would really like to know to speak. As I already mentioned, I want to learn Spanish. I know like something, not really much of it, but I can understand memes in Spanish. I can understand some conversations. A lot of words are, well, there are internationalisms. Well, yes, it sounds nice. I like it because of music, because of sounds. It has a lot of vowels. It's rich in vowels. That's why I like it. And now I'm learning Esperanto. It's not really going that fast as it had been going the first 3 months, because I really have to focus on some other things. But overall, it's going good. It's probably going to be my fourth language that I'm intermediate or up. I hope it will be, that I will reach that this year, and I will probably, because it's really the simplest possible it could be for the creator of it. I generally like Esperanto because it reminds me of well, it reminds me of the three main language branches that I learned. So Slavic, Germanic, Romance, all those that I tried and learned before I was 18. So it really brings up some memories. Oh yes, I forgot about Swedish. Well, oh my god. I tried learning Swedish because it just reminded me of German and brings some nostalgia. It also sounds funny a lot of times because of the pronunciation, so it's kind of attractive. So it would be cool knowing Swedish or German. If not German, then Swedish. And I think that would be everything. Well, there's more, but I don't know if it's worth mentioning languages that I only try, like saying 2 3 things in. No, that's for some other time. I'm going to sleep now, and this video is going to be released probably at 8 a.m. my time, Central European or East European time, whatever. Goodbye and good night to those that are going to sleep at that time.